I've got no audio. Can you hear me? No.
Can you hear me
Yeah.
now? Oh
Yeah.
God, I'm so sorry. That was my fault. I'm so sorry about that.
It's all good. You all right? I'm just getting.
I'm good.
I'm just getting tea. You all right?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, man. I'm all good. Yeah. What's cracking?
Me, Manga, and JME. 140's kinda quick, so I mix up syllables, pitch and shit.
I remember back in the day when I first saw you, you actually made me feel much more confident rapping with a middle class accent. I just wanted to let you know.
Yeah. Quite a few people, I think, have said that to me. There wasn't many people doing it, really, was there? Big up. Anyway, I'm glad to have had some sort of positive effect. Look at this. I'm some fucking hippie now, by the way. I'm putting turmeric into tea. I haven't drank for like 9 weeks now, you know.
I guess it's the positive of this time because it can give you a bit of a detox. It's sick to have you. This guy is, above all, a really good rapper. Both technically, subject matter wise, totally different to everyone else. I really respect, first and foremost, how you talk about your feelings in your songs.
I was also just an attention-seeking twat in school. Am I allowed to swear?
Yes, of course. Swear away.
Yeah, I was an attention-seeking twat. Once you learn that being funny gets you certain things, you continue being funny, don't you? I just always like to make people laugh. And then as soon as I realised I could do that with rap, and then I realised I could flow as well, I was like, well, this is a no-brainer, really, isn't it? It's just an easy way to get loads of attention.
I'm very attention-seeking as well. I understand. How did you first get into music?
I'm from Chepstow, which is like, it's right on the border, basically, in Newport. There was loads of rappers there. There was something called Smokey's TV. There was a real mixture of talent on that channel. Some amazing people and also some really terrible people. And I was watching all these terrible people and thinking, I can definitely do better than that. If I just went out and just rapped without even trying, I could do better than that. So I started writing bars. This was sixth form. So I was like 17. I was edging in with parody raps because, you know, like when you do something, you don't want to put yourself all out on a plate. So that's just a joke. If you start with parody raps, people don't like it. Oh, I'm only joking anyway. I wrote parody bars and I noticed people were actually liking it. And then I went to uni. You go to uni and you're like, I can do what I want. No parents, shirts off, no rules and all that shit. I started recording raps in my bedroom. As soon as I got offered that SBTV, I put together what I thought were my funniest bars. Like, if you could tell, my writing style back then was eclectic as fuck anyway. So it didn't really matter if I just put 6 different sections together because there was no narrative.
That's one of the beauties about it, though.
And without being an arrogant twat, I thought if this doesn't blow up, then I will just give up straight away because I don't understand how this can't not blow up. Who or how do you see some weird lesbian looking kid just turn up and then drop bars about fingering?
I'm like an undercover cop in bed. I'm undercover double. I'm undiscovered in rubble. And only trouble is that I keep staring at space. They call me Hubble, like a cockney in the bath with a bong. I'm having a bubble. They say I'm blocking, I'm table topping, I'm mocking, I'm mopping the floor for pills and shit. Then I'm dropping, I'm metaphorically though. I'm like a boffin, I'm boffing shit. The thought of a fag got me coughing. Now I'm in the coffin.
I remember when that came out. I was so young.
I turned out to the car park, you know, I got this scarf on, a Puma cap. And Jamal must have thought, why have I agreed to this? Like, what the fuck? Couldn't even get my bars out. If you watch the video back, you'll notice even like in the grime bit, there's a bit where it just cuts and then I just start again. But he's edited it so you don't really notice. My delivery's improved a lot since then. There was nothing like it. There was no one else had done that. So I remember Jamal ringing me. I was having a spliff, actually, with one of my mates. I get a phone call from Jamal, and he's like, bro, go on Twitter now. Go on Twitter. He's like, tweet Gets. I'm like, what do you mean, tweet Gets? He's like, tweet Gets. I went to look at Gets, and Gets was tweeting about how sick he thought I was. And I was like, what? Like, Gets is my inspiration, I reckon. I grew up listening to Gets. When I found out that he was tweeting about me, it was just fucking one of the weirdest things ever, man. And it all just kind of blew up from there, I guess. The reason it did so well is because I'm so effortlessly awkward on camera as well. You're used to most rappers coming in, giving it the bravado, and then you've got some weird little decrepit thing in a scarf, like, but trying, I guess it gave that relatability to the everyday kid.
At the end of the day, having a good stage presence, one of the things about that is being different, and you have a different stage presence. So
yeah, people have given me advice to never change that. Like, obviously, the more you're in front of the camera, the more you loosen up. But obviously, that was one of my selling points at the time.
You know, from Joy Division on stage, he used to like go like this, and that must have given you validation in terms of, I know that I'm good at this.
Yeah, but I didn't have a clue what I was doing, like, as an artist. I knew I could rap and I knew I could make puns and do wordplay and do mental stuff, but artistically, I had nothing. I got signed quite quickly. I didn't really have a clue what I wanted to say. I knew how I could make people laugh and how I could say sort of semi-viral stuff, but creatively as an artist, what do I actually want to do and say. It happened too quickly. I blew and then didn't know what I wanted to do after it.
But that's totally fair enough for a young guy, you know?
Not only that, I had loads and loads of mental stuff happen to me. Literally a few months after I got signed is when I started getting depersonalization. I was never present. So like, even when I was having label meetings with these people, I didn't feel like I was in the room. I just was on autopilot to get through it all. So I wasn't really thinking of my best material and all that. And the me before I blew had disappeared because my mind was totally different. So it was very hard to keep delivering material, especially when I didn't even really know who I was anymore, if that makes sense. I turned to fucking alcohol basically just to made me feel slightly more human.
In one of your songs you say it allows you to feel.
It makes me feel so real. I can feel my emotions return. It's like I'm at control of the wheel. Yeah. My sobriety's here. When I've had 4 pints, I feel how normal people feel when they're sober. Ask my mates. I'm a full-on goth, man.
All of this makes you the person you are and also the poet you are.
Got to have several breakdowns to write about half the shit I have recently.
You've got a comical side to you and then there's a more serious side as well.
I always try to make people feel something. That's when I'm writing, the aim is to make people experience something. If I'm writing about my emotions, I try to really think, well, what am I feeling? How can I describe this in a way that people will actually be able to relate to an extent, even if they don't feel like it?
You don't care what this person says or this person says. You're you.
To get that mindset that I got, you have to pretty much hit rock bottom. Stuff like what people think eventually goes out the window. When people say it's brave, it doesn't feel like it's brave to me because it's more like something that was stripped of me. It wasn't really a conscious decision to ever be brave. It was just like, this is how I feel. This is the only thing I can write about because this is how I feel.
You must have helped a lot of people who feel similarly.
That is one of the sick things, man. I do get a lot of messages from people. I've always had a bit of a knack for describing feelings and perception and everything, just my environment and stuff like that. I tend to see stuff a little bit differently to a lot of people.
In what ways do you think differently to other people?
Seeing everything critically and rationally. So rather than have all the emotions, you're seeing things critically. I don't know how to describe it other than sometimes, like out of body, I think about arbitrary stuff that you shouldn't really, we're not designed to be thinking of, I'll tell you that. A lot of the emotional bars that I've written will have either been written when I'm intoxicated some way or on the other end of being intoxicated some way after trying to escape that for ages. There's another level of why I guess I'm so honest is that I was probably either pissed or intoxicated half the time while I was doing anything. It gives a level of rawness. When you're pissed, nothing really matters, does it?
You made some bangers though.
I like all my recent stuff. I don't like any of my old stuff really. I was signed to 679 at the start, which is part of Warner Brothers. Same label as did The Streets, Plan B, that sort of stuff. Well, while I was with them, I also signed to Mike Skinner as well. I went through a patch of just writing the most abstract stuff ever because that was how I felt. Package just wasn't right. Everything was too forced and it's so obvious looking back. Like it was playlisted on One Extra, I think at one point. I did bits. Some of the stuff I did. How long can you continually rap wordplay not really making any point or preaching some fucking pretentious point that I had? Like, I hated Pitbull at the time. I love Pitbull now. What a fucking G. He doesn't say anything, just enjoys himself and he makes bangers and everyone loves him. He's not, and I used to slag him off. Why am I slagging him off?
I'm still in the stage of my life where I'm slagging off Pitbull. I'm not
slagging off anyone anymore.
And you made a song with Gets too.
Yeah, that was good, obviously.
The EP Inside Out is full of ups and downs.
Yeah,
it goes kind of up and down and up and down.
The idea behind it was meant to be the full spectrum of emotions. That's kind of why it's called Inside Out. So it's meant to take you on a bit of a... And I co-produced all that as well. Half of that was co-produced with my mate's Mac in Wetherspoons with headphone splitters, and we'd compose it all. And then we'd mix it down, obviously, in the studio after. But a lot of that was written and composed in Wetherspoons over many 8-hour sessions. There's a track on there, probably my favourite, Letdown. There's never any 4-bar repeats, instrumental-wise.
I mean, you're really, really perfectionist, which is good. But then it can go the other way too. Because
100%, man. It can be a really unproductive thing. Sometimes I sit there and I'm amazed and I look at certain stuff and I look at the view count and all that shit and I'm like, fuck, that is actually pretty mental. Everything I do, man, while I'm doing it, I think it's the best thing ever. If it isn't, you go back to the drawing board, don't you? Unless I'm pissed. If I'm pissed, I love what I do and I rate it. But sober me is hypercritical and that's just something I got to deal with, I guess.
What are you up to nowadays?
I'm producing for a few little bits and bobs, but I want a bit of a rebrand and I want to try something else. And whether it'll be under the bracket of elro or not, I don't know. Elro will continue, but there might be other stuff that I'm doing more that isn't under that. At the end of the day, there's a certain expectation attached to that. You see that and you expect a certain thing. I want to put out music that isn't attached to what I look like as a person, because I feel like then I can break down some of the boundaries that have held me back in the past. Two, hey. I got kicked from the road so quick. I guess I've been so since. But I'm sweet inside like a Rolo shoved in a polo mint. If you want to get a mojo quick, text birds that are local and fit. But what's that crash from the inbound filth? And I would get mad, but they're all so fit. And when I felt so sick, got rushed to the ground, got chopped on a trip. And I feel so thick with the codeine mixed with the booze and shit. Now I'm chatting to a local chick and she's so fit, but she won't send pics. I guess I got a solo shit. She posed with a pad, but she won't send tits. If you say so, I'm trapped in the gaff, I can fuck to the K-hole. Girl run a bath, I can FaceTime. If you wanna laugh with the phone, we can lay low. Only fans won't last with the peso. You've been more suited to horns and a halo. Girl got a batty like J-Lo. Might be a slag, but I'm horny, so hey ho. Hold up, same bloke, new day, might do, more coke, who knows, I'm kidding man, it's just jokes. If you say so, I wouldn't say I got an issue, but hey ho, let's go. Yeah, I wouldn't say I got an issue, but hey ho.